his future in a second. But first, Grizzlies and Pistons and Jaren Jackson Jr. turning the corner all over Andre Drummond.
One of the many high lottery picks the Grizzlies have. Hey, listen, Drummond. If this is happening to you, you don't have much utility in the league right now, fella. Come on.
Clippers and Spurs. Patrick Beverley throwing the outlet to Paul George. Finishes with the nice up and under.
A nice comeback for the Clippers. I think they're down 10 at the end of 1. End up winning this game by 3. Nice for them to have their full roster back, too.
Yeah.
Let's go college level now. Number 1, Baylor. Number 1, Baylor. How does that sound? Against Kansas State. Wildcats forward Xavier Sneed driving, delivering. That's a big slam right there.
What's 30 doing from Baylor? What are you doing? Maybe it's 33. Who's he guarding?
You say all the time, either post up or get out of the way.
Contest or get out of the way.
He chose to get out of the way.
Right about that.
I would have too.
Let's head overseas. Indonesian Basketball League. This is former Arkansas Tech forward Montrell Williams over the defender.
Over his head?
I'm so frustrated because I don't get enough Indonesian basketball. I don't know where am I.
That was the Frederick
Weiss. We
Weiss.
had this yesterday and saved it
Vince
today.
Carter over Frederick Weiss right there. He splits it. Look at that.
A lot of good stuff in that.
Here's Tom Brady.
To Tom Brady.
More attention for him.
The 42-year-old set the internet on fire last week with a cryptic post of him either walking into or out of Gillette, either staying or going, either playing or retiring, seemingly hinting at his future. Turns out he was hinting at his Super Bowl commercial. Now we're hearing reports the Patriots are willing to pay Brady $30 million to keep him in New England. Nick, would the Patriots be making a mistake paying Tom Brady $30 million to stay in New England?
Well, will he give him a bit of a break on it because it looks like they let him use Gillette Stadium? So he filmed his Hulu ad, and I'm sure Hulu cut him a 7-figure check.
A little something on the side.
Hijacking a little bit of the Super Bowl. Listen, far be it for Tom Brady's former understudy, Jimmy Garoppolo, and for the next greatest quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, to have the spotlight purely on them on the Friday before the Super Bowl. Tom Brady made sure that wasn't going to happen. Would $30 million a year be a mistake? Obviously. We watched the games last year. We did. We saw him. We saw Tom Brady look like an average-ish quarterback. We saw Tom Brady against every good defense he faced struggle enormously. We saw the New England Patriots unable to win a home playoff game in a game that ended on a pick 6, right? We saw that happen. And we saw that Bill Belichick, when he was asked 9 months prior, do you want to extend Tom Brady when he was coming off a championship and 1 year removed from a league MVP, then he said, no, I'm good. I'll give you a bit of a raise and I'll remove the ability for us to franchise tag you, but I'm not signing up for age 43 plus of Tom Brady, sight unseen. But now it's sight seen, and the sight wasn't that pretty. So unless it is purely about what he has earned through his career, which by the way, one could argue, and
he should get that.
Okay,
I think he deserves that.
Okay,
I think he deserves the $30 million for 1 year. And again, there's not a whole lot of tread on the tire. We're seeing the end come close. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to Tom. But I think it's more about what do you want to get around him. They've got to get more weapons around him, especially on the outside.
And harder to do if you give the quarterback 30, right?
Yeah. But you know what? But I think in terms of what Tom has done, brought them 6 rings. 6 rings against, I mean, a perennial playoff team. He spent the majority of his career contending for a Super Bowl, whether it's in the playoff. Missed 1 year, I believe, out of his
His second year in the league was the only year they missed the playoffs when he was healthy.
Does that earn him, though, the right to stay as long as he wants?
I think so, yeah. He has more value as a Patriot than going anyplace else. So I think they need to figure it out. I think, you know what, Tom, we're going to throw you a bone. Listen, you've been taking a pay cut for the last, 20-some-odd years. You've delivered us. You made us a marketable brand. Our valuation is now well over $3 billion because of you. Why not throw him 30? You know, why not? I mean, hell, he's Tom Brady. So that's kind of what I think about it. I mean, we know it's going to be a 1-year deal wherever he goes. Why not end it as a Patriot?
Yeah, when you look at the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes is going to get paid, what, $200 million or whatever the projections are. And pretty average-ish performance through 3.5 quarters of that game with Tyreek. What's his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, is he pretty good?
Kelce.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, they're pretty good. So you have two of the elite offensive weapons. You have a very average or pedestrian game in the Super Bowl for the majority of it. But as we look at Tom Brady and he wins the division for I don't even know what
every year since he blew his
wins the
ACL.
division and they lose the home playoff game. But now we're saying that he's done, right? And I understand this narrative that you have, and that one of these years you're probably going to be right.
The year. Well, we just saw it.
Okay, well,
he's not getting better.
In your mind, this was the year, and he can't come back. But the one thing that we've seen about Tom and we've seen about the Patriots is they have the ability to adjust. They have the ability to adapt. And if you pay him $30 million, it's still a smaller percentage of the cap because the cap continues to grow. And the idea that they aren't going to be able to fix the problems that they have, to me, is what's that based off of? If anything, based off history, they find a way to consistently fix the problems they have.
But can I just say, what's the only thing we've ever heard Tom Brady say we've never heard him say, I want more money, whether he does or not. We've always heard him for years say, I want to play till I'm 45. So what's more important to him to get from the Patriots if he is going to return, money or years, at least allowing him to play till when he wants to play, which is 45?
I think whether he will admit it or not, I think given how this year went, how he played this season, I think he's starting to have doubts whether or not he's got 3 years left in him. I think he truly believes in his heart of hearts, I have at the very least 1 year left in me. And I think he probably understandably is a little irritated when he sees the other quarterback salaries continuing to jump. And I don't think when Brady asked them for the extension this past offseason, he was asking for $30 million a year. I think then he was asking for the years, and the Pats wouldn't give it to him. And now he's saying, okay, you won't give me the years, then I'm going to squeeze you on the money. You mentioned, Coach, why would they not be able to fix their problems? Well, let's go over what the issues are, because I know that in certain quarters, the issue can't be that from week 9 on, Tom Brady had a 78 passer rating. That it can't be that over the course of the season, he had the worst statistical year in the last 15 years of his career. It's got to be the pieces around him. Offensive line wasn't good enough. Well, Dante Scarnecchia, last I checked, just retired. That ain't great. Well, the weapons weren't good enough. Well, they spent a first-round pick on a wide receiver, traded the second-round pick for a wide receiver, and used a first-round pick on a running back. I would not anticipate, it would be very un-Belichickian to now triple down on skill position guys in the draft. It's also un-Belichickian to go spend a ton of money in free agency. We talk about this all the time. They are never top-of-the-market free agent spenders. So where is the cavalry coming? From where is the cavalry coming?
So just because they don't pay top price for guys, that means they're not getting good players? And as much as they have spent the draft picks that we talked about, let's see where these guys are a year removed. Okay, let's see whether N'Keal Harry takes a jump.
And don't forget, N'Keal Harry spent a good portion of the season injured, so he wasn't able to play.
Isaiah Wynn the same way,
also injured.
And so with some time in the system where they can continue to develop, because what we're saying is this team is frozen exactly where they finished, and that those players aren't going to get better. And that's not what happens in New England. Typically, the players, because they're smart and they have good character, they get better as time goes on. And then in the draft, it doesn't have to all be first-round draft picks. We see it year in and year out where guys contribute from all different levels of the draft. So they have the draft, they have free agency. Let's see what they do to fix some of the issues they have.
What is New England's contingency plan if they don't bring Tom back?
Stidham, I guess.
Jason Stidham, baby.
Stidham.
Oh, Jared Stidham.
Stidham or
Marcus Mariota.
Oh, okay.
No, they'll have to come up with something. They don't have a plan B.
They don't have a plan B.
Okay, well, they always have a plan B. We just don't know what plan B is.
Okay.
But I find it very interesting that we are working into the methodology, and maybe we should, that these young players, because they're young, emerging players, are going to get better. But if I say, hey, the oldest player in the league is on the other side of that curve and might be getting a little bit worse, there's pushback there. If at 23 you're supposed to be better at 24, then at 42 you should be worse at 43. And by the way, Brady was league MVP at 40. He was good at 41. He was slightly below average at 42. I don't see a Bitcoin type of spike coming at 43.
I think it was Serena or Venus was talking about her game and how even though she had slowed down some, her game had gotten so much better, not because she could react, you know, the way that she could when she was younger, but because she could anticipate where things were coming and how they were coming, and the game slowed down. So as much as we want to knock age for a quarterback who's not mobile, who's never been mobile, the game continues to slow down, and that's where the strength of his game is.
And sometimes, though, you're Roger Federer, and the game has slowed down for you more than ever before, and Djokovic keeps kicking your ass because he's younger and better. Yeah. And that might be the situation. The GOAT in both situations, Federer and Brady, find themselves in. A little tennis commentary. I like that, Coach.
There are actually two teams
get that in there,
that are
going viral.